Alright, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a simple chroma key effect using Adobe Premiere CS 5.5. If you're using an earlier version, everything might look a little different, but pretty much all the effects and applications are pretty much the same. I'm going to go ahead and open up a project that I had already created, and once it is open it's going to look something like this. Over here is where you have all your files. This is where the video with the green screen is, and here are just some photos that I had already brought in, and these are my sequences. But I'm going to create a new sequence, or a timeline if you will, and by doing that I'll come down here to this little box and click new item. This is actually a shortcut. There's other ways to do it. You can go to file, new, and sequence. I prefer the shortcut, so I'm going to come down here to this little guy. It says new item, click it and hit sequence. So I'm going to hit OK, and here is my sequence and timeline, but there's nothing on it. So what we're going to do is here's the video of the green screen. What I'm going to do is you double click it, and it goes ahead and brings it up into the source window, which is where you're going to put your in points and out points. So you can scroll along and find where you want it to begin. In this case, I want it to begin just before I walk into the green screen space. So I'm going to back it up a little bit, and that's going to be my in point. And then I'm going to find my out point, which is going to be as I'm walking out. And I can just shuffle and shuttle a little bit till I'm completely out, and there's my out. I'm not going to use audio here for this particular tutorial, so if I were to do that, I would just take my cursor, click here, and drag onto the timeline, and that way I have audio and video. But we're going to bypass that, so I'm going to hit Control Z and go back and just bring this little film strip which says drag video only, and it'll only drag the in point and the out point of what I already told it to do. So here I am coming into the screen, do my thing, and I'll walk out of the screen. Now what you have to do now is find out what you want to key out. So one way to do is come back in here into your bin, and you can right click and hit import, or you can go to file, import. I just like doing shortcuts, so I'm going to do file, import, and here's a variety of pictures, and you could pretty much pick any picture you would like to come in, and then it'll be right here. So what you can do is you can drag it over, or you can double click and it goes right into your source monitor. But I don't want to use that one. I just wanted to show you how to bring in a picture. I am going to choose to use this one, which is inside inside of a place that we toured in France. And so what you need to do is you got to come down here. As you can see, your chroma key is on video 1. Well, what you got to do is drag it up 1 onto video 2. So that way you're going to key out whatever is, you're going to key out the green screen to reveal what's ever under here. So at this point I'm going to take this photo and bring it underneath it. So, and then go ahead and stretch it out to make it the same length as your video. So even though the video is on top of it, so I still can't see anything but me at the green screen. First thing you got to do is crop your picture. So you want to go to video effects over here, click on video effects, and scroll down a little bit till you hit transform, and there's an effect called crop, and you're going to go ahead and place that on top of your video. That way you can crop all this extraneous stuff outside of the green screen. So go ahead and click on top of that video on your timeline. Come up here and click your effects control. At this point, I'm going to crop out the left side by clicking and dragging this to the right until just about there. As you can see, the picture is starting to reveal itself. And I'm going to do the same thing for the right side. And we're going to drag that over until I get a nice clean green screen. And this is all I want to see. But there's still something else to do. What we got to do is we got to key out this green to reveal the picture. In order to do that, we're going to come down back over here into your effects palette and find keying, and go ahead and click that arrow so you get a whole bunch of different variety of keying effects. I like to use the Ultra key. If your version has that, I would recommend using that. If not, you can just go ahead and use Chroma key. I like Ultra key because there's not a lot of steps you have to do to key yourself out of it. So we're going to go ahead and click and drag that right on top of the video. Then you're going to come up here to your effects control where you have your Ultra key. But in order to key it out, we're going to have to take this eyedropper. Okay, I'm going to click on this eyedropper and click in probably about the medium in the road, middle of the road part of the green screen where it's lit up about the same everywhere else. So we'll go ahead and do that, and magically it disappears. But you could still see there's a little bit of haze right here. In order to get rid of that, you simply come down to matte generation, and there's this adjustment called pedestal, and if you look to your screen, you can see it just kind of disappear a little bit. See, there's a haze and just about gone. So now you're just about done. It looks like a pretty clean key. Okay, there's just about one more thing I need to do, is to adjust the size of my body to fit the perspective of the room. So basically what you do is just click on the timeline on your video, which is right here on video 2, and then come in here into your program window and just double click it. And as you can see, they have these little handles right here. So if you just pull on the corner of one, it adjusts yourself to about the size of the room, and then you could bring it down a little bit. That way you look like you really belong in there. Now that I've done that, you can clearly see there's a little bit more haze. So let's go back and get rid of that real quick. And that is done with the pedestal. So we'll adjust the pedestal a little bit more until we get rid of some of that haze. And I think that just about does it. So as we move the cursor around and I hit play, it's almost as if I'm coming through that door, walking out to the center of the floor, doing my thing. I'm going to speed it up. And when I'm done, I simply walk back out. And that's a basic operation of how to do a chroma key in Adobe Premiere Pro with the version CS 5.5. I hope it helped you, and good luck with everything else you do.